Hello. Let's see.
The benefits are great, but the screamiums will kill ya.
Thank you very much for the resub. Hold on. I'm bringing on our guest, Kristof Bathory. He's hanging out with us. Hello. Good day, everybody. I hope you're all having a great Sunday. Speedy, thank you so much for the 43-month resub. Greatly appreciate it. I don't know why your sub badge isn't showing. I'll have to look into that. But anyways, guys, give a warm welcome to Kristof Bathory from Dawn of Ashes.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you doing today? And can you guys hear Kristof clear and well? I hear Kristof clear and well, so.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, you guys can hear him? Perfect. Perfect. Everyone is saying hello over on the Twitch side of things. Yeah, you hear him clearly? Beautiful. Tell us, how'd you get started, Kristof? I know many of us know you in here because we've hung out with you a few times. But for those that don't know you, tell us a little bit about you and how you got started.
I've been a professional musician pretty much my whole life, and I started Dawn of Ashes back in 2001. And so this project has been going on for, I think it's, 25 years now. It's been a lot of evolution within the sound and pretty much everything with the group. Originally, it started out as I guess what fans would like to call it, agrotech or dark electro.
Yeah.
And then it formed into more of a metal act. And then I started incorporating the agrotech sound back into Dawn of Ashes. And that's what I've been doing in the last couple of years. And then I'm releasing a brand new album that comes out on June 8th, which is actually a reinventing of that old sound. So bringing back the whole agrotech sound, but bringing new elements into it and,
Right.
and reinventing it. And, with my whole experience in music production, just making it a little bit more advanced.
Yeah.
But it's a theatrical project, so our live shows are pretty intense. Probably why I'm on here is it's very horror themed.
Yeah.
And that actually evolved over the years too, is where I started in the beginning to now with the whole horror concept and theme. That sort of evolved.
Yeah, no, I noticed that. I know from when we had you on, gosh, we've had you on quite a few times. We played Dead by Daylight together. We did that interview in Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the evolution. Mr. MV Sun, you can find Dawn of Ashes on Spotify, everywhere. And what is your website? Do you have any specific places where people can go besides Spotify or YouTube?
There is going to be an official Dawn of Ashes website that's going to be launched, but we are signed to Metropolis Records, so you can find all discography through Metropolis. We have past albums that were on other labels, but you can go to our Bandcamp or YouTube, Instagram.
Okay. Yep, Instagram. Yep, you can go look up Dawn of Ashes
everywhere.
or Kristof Bathory, and you'll be able to find them everywhere. You could go find their music. What, now I know we were talking before live stream and you're like, you wrote how many albums already? What inspires you? Like, what gives you that, that fire to write and to create?
It all depends. I mean, depends on what is inspiring me. If it's, something emotional or something visual, I'm just always getting ideas and always just shit coming into my head. And obviously you can see all my music here in the background. So a lot of that has an influence over me writing. but I'm constantly just getting inspiration. I have other project. I do dark ambient as well. I have a project called Void Stasis,
Yes, you do.
my
Void.
solo stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I have to constantly keep writing.
Yeah. It just keeps flowing. And that's really cool. Have you had any writer's block at any point in time in your journey since you've been creating?
Yeah, I've definitely had um, moments where it's kind of like a someone who paints or anything, where they
Yeah.
just get to a point where they don't, and I just have to take a break for like a little bit, and then I'm right back at it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, everyone has a little bit of a creative block here and there. What are some of your ways to help you get out of that funk?
Um, Sometimes just taking a short break and getting inspired in various places. Uh,
Yeah.
Sometimes I get inspired by movies, video games, other musical inspirations.
Yeah.
Sometimes just a lot of my inspiration lately has been very psychological, very dealing with dark emotions and
Yeah.
stuff that I've struggled with, stuff I know that others have struggled with. That's the whole thing I was saying about the whole thing about horror evolving.
Yep.
Because when we first started out, it was kind of just like a shock thing, and then lyrically, it's evolved into something I feel is more meaningful and more mature. So, and I don't know, I feel like that's just me growing as an artist.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And so your new album, what is the name of your new album coming out?
It's Infecting the Scars.
Oh, Infecting the Scars. Nice.
So it's a trilogy. The first album was called Scars of the Broken.
Mm-hmm.
And then last year we released Reopening the Scars. And now this is the third installment,
Infected.
which is Infecting the Scars.
Nice. And the album comes out in June.
Yeah, June 8th. The first single comes out
Yeah.
this Friday.
This Friday. All right, guys, this Friday, make sure you check out Dawn of Ashes on everything. This Friday, the new single is dropping.
Yeah, with a music video as well.
Oh, nice. With the music video as well, so that you'd be able to check that out on YouTube
Right.
under the Dawn of Ashes YouTube channel. That's good. Yeah, mark your calendars. Make sure you have it written down. Kristof unfortunately can't see the Twitch chat. They are working on getting their Twitch chat to work. They recently moved, and we're going to ask Kristof about their move. So, what is it like to pick up your entire life and move from LA to Denmark?
I it's it's it was crazy. I needed a big fucking change, and that's probably the biggest thing you could do is just get up and move to another country.
Yep.
But it's very different here. It's very peaceful, and I feel like it inspires me being here in a whole different way. And I feel me as an ambient artist, it really inspires me being here with that whole tranquility and peaceful environment. So sometimes when I'm here, I have to kind of channel that other side
Yeah.
when I'm writing Dawn of Ashes.
Yeah, because your
Which,
tranquility side comes out
right.
because you're
Yeah.
no longer in that flight or fight mode, if you think
Yeah. I'm
about
not
it.
in the shitstorm of America.
Yeah. But that's good. That's great. Because, yeah, right now by you, it's a little after 8 p.m.
Yeah. It's after 8.
Mm-hmm. And you've had some other big life changes. Did you want to talk about those? Bring that into your.
Yeah. I moved to Denmark, got married.
Yeah. Congratulations again.
Steps. Thank you. Have stepkids, which that was a whole
Yeah.
You know all about it. You know all about it.
Yeah, it's a whole other animal.
Yeah, it definitely a big change in my life.
Yeah, big major changes, moving, kids, marriage. Has any of this influenced some of the songs that you have written? Maybe not for this album, but maybe for a future. Like, if you have like, that's a lot of action to take in a short amount of time.
In a sense, yeah. I think being here it changed a lot of ways that I think now. I don't know how to fully explain it, but there's a different mentality
Yeah.
in Scandinavia, and when I went back to LA, it was about I think a month ago, and it was a culture shock going back to LA.
Oh, I bet.
Went there and I was just like, there's homeless fucking people everywhere and trash and crime everywhere. And then I come back here and it's like,
Night and day.
yeah, yeah.
Night and day. It's crazy
So
to see how another part of the world lives, right? Especially when you're from another part of the world.
right.
Yeah. Darkbreaker says congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that is awesome. On your new album, has there any other inspiration from like movies or just inspiration from your own thoughts?
Um, so the whole concept of the album,
Yeah.
so the first installment, Scars of the Broken, was definitely more personal. It was about personal stuff I was dealing with depression and anxiety, and kind of I wrote it as a almost emotional Dante's Inferno, where basically you're taking a journey descending down into the worst place you can ever be, and then just fucking trying to pull yourself up into some sort of paradise and being stuck in limbo.
Yeah.
And I, that's real horror, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And the next album is Reopening Scars is about dealing with the ugliest form of emotions that you can deal with, and it's just this place where just I've just don't feel anything,
Yeah.
and you don't care, and then the latest installment has to do with poisoning yourself with these emotions, where you get to a point of rage and anger and uncontrollable anger, and that whole process of dealing with that. And so I started really thinking about psychological horror,
Yeah.
and to me I feel like that has more meaning than just, because back in the day with Donna Bash it was all about shock and trying to get some
Yep.
sort of reaction out of people. And I noticed that even with horror movies now, they try to do that a lot, where
Yep.
it's like
Terrifier.
yeah, that,
That's a
was
shocker,
one.
right? Terrifier. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm not really a fan of that. I mean, because, and I'm not saying to
Yeah.
anybody, but I like the movies that have more.
Meaning.
They're gruesome, but they have a story behind it.
Yeah.
And so I've kind of matured out of the let's do whatever it takes to piss people off. So I went back to the old Dawn of Ashes albums, and like it's hard for me to kind of connect with some of the stuff I used to write, because I feel like it's just like, okay, like what can I write to try to piss someone off?
Yeah.
And I've just kind of, I think I've kind of outgrown that.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like I have followed your music since I met you, and it definitely sounds like the evolution, of
Right.
a younger mind, an angry mind, going through the music and then traveling through the time. And like you said, this is a trilogy. So if you listen to the first album and then the second album and then the newest one, you're gonna see like a transcendence. Is what it seems like to me. I haven't heard the newest album, obviously, but it seems like going like an evolution of where you are.
Yeah, and
Almost like a transcending kind of from this position to now where you're heading.
I mean, Donovan has over, I think, 12 albums,
Yes.
and from the start to now, it's like, I think it's very crucial that an artist grows. And the thing is,
yeah,
you know,
definitely.
when I wrote the first album, I was in my like early 20s or something like that, and it a lot goes on from your early 20s up to your 40s.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so you go back and you listen to these old albums and you're like, okay, it's hard for you to connect with that, or it was a point in your life that you're like,
You're no longer in.
or you don't want to be in.
Exactly.
So I was mentioning it's hard for me to perform certain material now because I don't have a connection with it.
You're not there anymore. You're not mentally, physically, or emotionally in that position anymore. You have transcended. I mean, as a caterpillar to a butterfly, right? You go through all of those stages, and a lot of the times it's rough. It's rough. You're in a dark place. It's
Oh yeah.
crazy, right? And then eventually, as you start evolving, you start breaking open the wounds, you start healing. I'm going to say it's more of a healing process as you go through your first, and then you realize, well, I can't connect with that anymore because I'm not in that headspace. I'm not in that environment. And then you evolve, right? So I definitely see that.
I don't act the way I do when I compared to how I acted when I was 15 years old. You know,
of
it's
course
like
not,
I was a little fucking shithead when I was that age.
I think we all kind of were.
You know, I still have my chaotic and rebellious side. You know, there's always going to be that.
Yeah, that'll never die.
It's just morphed into something else.
Yeah.
Something with more substance to it.
Mm-hmm. More focus to it. Where before it was all over the place. What can we do to rage against the machine, right? And then it's now, instead of just raging everywhere, what we can do to piss people off and get a reaction out of people and do this, it's now more coming into focus.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's awesome. Evolution of music is great. And to see the evolution of the artist in the sound in their music is also really cool, especially for fans who have been day one fans of Dawn of Ashes, right? That is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool evolution.
Yeah, and since the first two albums, the whatever Agrotech albums, lyrically they were very, you know, they're about serial killers and slasher films and shit like that. And this new album is more about, you know, what I just talked about, those type of emotions. I mean, it's still very fucking pissed off. Yeah. It's just pissed off in a different way.
Yeah, I know. Some of your songs have, like, you know, sleep paralysis, torture device, and you've got like, even in the names of your songs.
Well, I mean, in this album, it's there too. I mean, I'm not. It's all
still
those three
there.
albums are definitely pissed. They're definitely angry. They're just
they're more focused angry instead of going all over the place.
Yeah, it's not like I'm not going to mention which albums, but I wrote some albums and I was just like, you know, let's write how many times I can say fuck in the lyrics, and you know, what can I say that will offend people the most? And I'm just like, God, it's so, like, you know, edgy and you know, I'm kind of over that.
Well, you kind of grow up, right? It's your evolution of you. I mean, you're still not back in the 8-year, you know, in 20 years old. The 20-year-old you is still in this mind frame and this set now to be older. It's a totally different evolution, right?
Right.
The music is still pretty friggin' awesome. In my eyes, I have you on my playlist.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I follow it on Spotify, probably on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since I met you through Adius. what
Oh
the
yeah,
hell was
yeah,
his
yeah.
name beforehand? Yeah, I can't remember what his name was
Malice,
before. Yeah.
Malice. Yeah,
Yeah, no, it was it's been good times ever since. The music. I've enjoyed it since I met you.
yeah.
Uh what are some of the games? I know you're a gamer. I know you're a gamer. We've played Dead by Daylight. We had an interview while we played Dead by Daylight.
That's
So what do you
actually a source of inspiration as well. Yeah, I am a hardcore gamer. I game a lot. I mean, fuck, I play everything. Right now, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Nice.
Um, I've uh, play Elden Ring and I don't know, fucking everything. I play everything.
We have a couple of people who are addicted to Shadow Assassin's Creed right now. Uh
Yeah.
I myself I'm addicted to ghost hunting lately, so I've been doing a lot of ghost hunting games like Phasmo, Demonologist, Ghost Watchers.
I play Demonologist. That'd be a good game for us to do a stream together.
Yeah, hell yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
And I
I've been really
stream.
picky about survival horror games. I get
Yeah,
even though Silent Hill is one of my favorite games, I did beat the remake of Silent Hill 2. But that's one of
nice.
my biggest inspiration is the Silent Hill games.
Wow, really? That's awesome. Silent Hill's a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people are addicted to a game called Schedule One. I'm not.
I've
I'm
heard
not.
of it.
Yeah, I heard of it myself. It's. I mean, it sounds like it'd be interesting, but it sounds like it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's for me. I don't think that game is for me. But selling drugs and killing people. I mean,
Oh
it's
yeah,
for
yeah,
some.
yeah.
It's for some. Uh, GTA has that, and I already own GTA, and I already have all sorts of like drug den and GTA. So I don't think I need it in another game. I am into Sworn and Brotato right now. Is that part of Schedule One? Like these is a different language to me. And our gaming stream, I started streaming during the day now, so it would probably coincide better with you than one of my evening streams.
Yeah, I've been wanting to stream again soon. I like I said
Your
earlier,
Twitch, yeah, you
I'm
move.
having an issue with my Twitch. I, I I was gonna start streaming the Assassin's Creed, but then I couldn't get into Twitch, and I was just like, fuck, you know. So,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
would
because
like
that
to.
two off.
Yeah, I would like to possibly start streaming again.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. What little I've seen of it, it's more like time management and economy cinema. Oh, okay, Diella. Yeah, I really haven't watched much about it. Oh, they're completely different road games. Oh, okay, Speedy. I was not sure. I've not heard of Brotato.
I've never heard about it either.
There are so many games out there.
I know I was fuck. I was telling my wife that May, you're probably not going to see me because I bought like 3 different games that come out in May, and they all come out at the same fucking time.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like the new Elden Ring, the new Doom, the Dune game, and I'm like, how the hell am I going to play all these fucking games while writing
Creating
music? Yeah,
and being a dad.
yeah, and that.
Yeah, being called yeah, being a dad and having oh my god, yeah, time to play video games. Shit, my kids are all grown and I'm still trying to find time to play video games off stream, but I have a puppy who's 11 months old who is the god of destruction.
Yeah, we have a little cat here, and he's a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my god of destruction is 90 pounds.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. His name is Loki. We named him after the Norse god Loki, god of mischief, because he
Yeah.
literally fits his name. He has murdered majority of my plants.
That's what they
Pillows.
do. Yep.
Yeah, not enough time in a day for games. There's so many games and just not enough time.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about creating or having one of your songs directly after a video game? Have you ever had been
I
inspired to do something like that?
I was actually I can't mention it, but
Yeah.
I was doing a soundtrack for a video game. So that was one thing
Ooh.
I did here. So I was hired to do my ambient stuff for an upcoming video game. I can't mention what it
Yeah, no
is, but
worries. No
yeah.
worries. That's awesome. That's really awesome. It opens up a whole other avenue.
But that's been it's weird, but the ambient stuff has been the stuff I love doing the most now. Not
Yeah.
to say I don't like writing for Dawn of Ashes. It's just it's a different type of writing style,
Yeah.
and I'm very much into. I don't know if you see all my Eurorack modules and my synthesizers. I
Yeah.
just love zoning out to that shit.
Yeah. Dark ambience is nice. I have a couple of different albums myself, not my albums, but that I listen to that are a dark ambient. I have some of them in my normal regular coffee chat of horrors. In one of my starting videos is there was an artist that made me a dark ambient song that my thing plays to.
Nice.
Yeah, and I like that kind of music. And it depends on the speed of the ambience in the background as well. Sometimes it's really good for meditating.
Yeah, most of so my Void Stasis project
Yep,
and the Kristof Bathory stuff is on Cryo Chamber, the label,
yep,
and it's a little bit more in depth than a lot of the minimalistic dark ambient. It's a lot of it is inspired by sci-fi films.
yep.
So, and that has been a genre that I've kind of gravitated towards mostly. So, my favorite genre of horror has become sci-fi horror.
Nice.
So, and that inspires my ambient stuff a lot.
Right. And you were saying you were getting into psychological horror, and I find psychological horror very scary because it's something that's very, very real, more real than a Jason Voorhees, more real than Freddy, even though there's night terrors and sleep paralysis, because that's some scary shit in itself. But the psychological horror, a lot of that can happen. And while we're on psychological sci-fi, there is a movie I just seen, and I know the horde is going to get tired of me talking about it, but it's called Companion.
Okay.
Companion is a psychological thriller sci-fi. Think of iRobot meets Ghost in the Shell. They kind of do
Okay.
it and have a baby. It's
Oh,
Companion. It's
got it.
really good. I enjoyed it. I'm not, I know a lot of other people that really enjoyed it, but it's pretty creepy. Once you like break it down and you watch this movie, you may want to watch it a second time, as I need to watch it a second time just to break down even more. Because then the main characters, the main character, the guy, he seems to get even more creepier the more I
Okay.
think about it. Like the more I think of what he's done. It's a very good movie if you can
Nice.
find it. I know it comes out on streaming services.
Okay.
I'm not going to
Yeah,
spoil
I've heard of
anything.
it. I've
Not
heard
for
of
anyone.
it.
Another good psychological is Pet, PET, if you can find that one.
See, I like all genres of horror. I'm a huge horror fan.
Yeah.
I'm just there's certain I don't know. I'm not really into torture porn. That's not
Yep.
really my. It's some of it's okay. I like the first Saw movie,
Hmm.
but
How about
some of
Hostel?
it's half the movie is awful and half of it's good.
Yeah.
It's like the first part of the movie, you're just like, I don't know. It's okay.
The
But
eyeball
like,
torture scene always gets me.
yeah. But I feel like slasher movies back in the day, they were more fun.
Yeah.
It's not let's see how much we can push the limit. It was just fun and
Yeah.
goofy and I don't know.
Terrifier is one
I,
of those genre of movies that are pushing the limits of gore. I mean, it's one of the first mainstream horror movies besides Saw coming out in 2004. It's one of the most mainstream horror movies that have really pushed the boundaries of gore. Like, I don't know if you've seen Terrifier 2 or 3 yet.
I've seen them all, and it's not really like I appreciate the practical effects,
Oh yeah, the
and
practical effects are awesome.
um, I think he looks cool, but I think
Yeah, I love
the
Art. I love Art the Clown, as you can see in my background here. I love Art the Clown. I like him as him. I'm not a huge fan of Terrifier 2 or 3. I thought 1 was perfect, and we didn't need a whole angels versus demon bullshit because we just don't need that. He was a slasher. He is a slasher. We don't really need more in-depth back lore other than where he came from, which was the ninth gate of hell, and his extreme violence. It's really all we need. We don't need angels, and I don't know. I'm just not
I
into it.
I couldn't stand the first movie, but I just felt like it. I just felt like it was,
Did you feel like it was gore just to be shocking?
yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people feel that way. It's just gore. I'm a gore whore. I do love blood, guts, and ass, and the more of it that I see on a screen is great. I just don't need a story behind it. I just need the blood, guts, and ass. I don't really need a story behind it. And I know there's not a lot of people out there that are like me in that sense, where I like that kind of stuff. But I like it when I mean I don't mind it when it's just gore to shock either. But I feel with the Terrifier films, and then like I said, mainstream horror, this is really the first we're seeing with this as aggressive gore compared to Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, yeah, there was gore in that, but that gore kind of went with the storyline with Freddy being a sleep demon, Dream Warriors 3, right? Uh,
But it made more
Jason.
sense.
Well, yeah. It definitely made more sense.
Yeah, there was just stuff, in my opinion, with it. It just didn't make any sense. And then I know some will debate with me, but like the first movie, I just like I I do like some story with the original slasher movies. There was some sort of story to
Yeah,
it.
there's a slight bit of story, but we don't really get much of a background. Like, there's no huge lore. I mean, outside of the fandom, outside of the movies, in the fandom, there's a fuck ton of lore. In the books and the novels, like Jason, Friday the 13th, if you just ever watch the movies, you really won't know all of the lore that really is inside of it. But I like that kind of lore when it comes in that sense, right? You just
Right.
don't need the whole novelization of a character in one movie.
No, I agree. I totally agree.
Oh, I'm gonna try to snooze this ad again. Oh fuck, I didn't get a chance to snooze it. Damn it. The only downside on Twitch is that we get ads, and I just don't want anyone to miss anything. So there's gonna be an ad that's gonna be starting. You have so many living dead dolls in your closet. I put them on my shelf on Halloween season. Nice, Vanessa. Evil pet movies are always good. Cute babies eating people. Yeah, children in horror are creepy. Children in
Gage.
horror is creepy. Like
Gage
full on.
is the perfect example. See, that's a good movie. The original Pet Cemetery.
Oh,
It's
Pet
just
Cemetery was great. Gage was a really creepy little child when obviously when he came back, not when he wasn't dead. Children and dolls, yeah, dolls can be really creepy as well. Or the little what's his name? Trilogy of Terror. I keep forgetting that little guy's name.
the
He
one
had
that looks like
the gold chain on him. When the gold chain broke, he came to life. Anyone remember that? Hey, Wickedy.
was the one that looked like a tribal man, right?
Yeah, I
There's
can't. Zuni doll. Thank you, Gothic. The Zuni doll. I keep forgetting the damn name. I love that movie, Trilogy of Terror. But yeah, that's kind of scary. I'm surrounded by living dead dolls. I own a whole whackload of them. I love how creepy and innocent they're innocently dressed, but they're like creepy. I always find them fun.
I'm surrounded by Funko Pops. I have
Funkos,
yeah, I have a ton of them.
nice. I have quite a few as well. I like adding the Funkos into my horror collection. It's a different type of collection when you do Funkos.
So
You love some Funkos?
what is your, if you put it on your top favorite horror movie, what do you think it would be?
My top horror movie or yours?
Yours.
My top horror for 2025 or just like all time?
Just the holy grail.
Oh, the Holy Grails. Well, we have to have Friday the 13th Part 1, and I have to have 3 in there. I'd have to say The Exorcist, as that broke boundaries and made way for the entire paranormal genre. I'd have
Good
to
stuff.
say Tenebrae, which is an Italian giallo film, because that one there also opened up the doorways for numerous films.
Dario Argento. Right?
Yeah, I love Dario Argento. And then my number five, I'd have to say The Birds. The Birds opened up a whole doorway. Yeah, Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, and the reason why I picked those ones is because they each have brought something into the horror genre. Jason, I mean, everyone always gives props to Michael, but yeah, Michael may have been the first slasher heading into the 80s and an actual slasher instead of like the neo slashers, etc. However, Jason brought in the over the top kills. Michael didn't have over the top kills. His was sneaky kills. Jason brought in the over the top, cut you down the center kind of thing, which then brought way for Freddy Krueger and his crazy kills. And and The Birds brought in for more animal sort of horror and environmental horror, right? Birds attacking you out of friggin' nowhere. Kind of fucking scary. What are your top 5?
It's hard, but you know, it's funny because I thought about it for a while because there's one holy grail horror movie for me, and I would have to say The Thing.
Oh, The Thing's a friggin' masterpiece.
Yeah, everything about that movie is just that's a perfect movie.
Oh, it's a masterpiece of a movie. There's only a few masterpiece movies out there, and The Thing is one of them. Even the soundtrack is friggin' amazing.
Everything. It's just I have so many because you know the Alien movies have to fall into that, and
oh yeah, I mean, The Thing is a really, really great movie. I mean, before that, there was oh my lord, I can't think of it. The original movie, whereas The Thing was an inspiration of the original movie.
the black and white movie.
Yeah, I can't.
Well, it is a thing.
Thing, The End of World, or its full title. I can't remember it for whatever reason.
Also, The Fog is a great movie.
Oh, The Fog is awesome. Yeah.
Anything John Carpenter does is
yeah. Psycho is good. Yeah.
But it's when it comes to slasher films, in my opinion, you have one in your background. I don't know if it's considered slasher, but like this is the my opinion, Terrifier versus that movie, because that movie is disturbing, but you don't really see anything.
100%. Bubba is my Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise is my second favorite franchise ever, and I do consider him the first slasher. When it comes down to anything, I know people will argue and say Peeping Tom, and even before that, people will say Torso, which is another Italian film, which is an amazing movie. And yeah, I would agree. However, when it comes down to gore without the gore, Tobe Hooper nailed that shit on the head. Like people swear that they seen the chainsaw go through people and things that they swore they seen, but if you go back into that movie and watch that movie, you did not see that.
Yeah, you don't really see anything, and it's just I think I don't know. That's what I like about movies. I like movies, and same thing with the original Halloween. It's they give the viewer open to think about what's going to happen, not just kind of straight up showing everything.
Yeah, well, that's what made Michael so scary. Was he was the shape, right? He was the object that you think is lurking in the shadows, like, and that's why you go and investigate, because you think there's something there, but you're like, no, that can't be there. And then boom,
Right.
there's Michael. And that made Michael scary. The new universe of Halloween doesn't make Michael scary at all. Hey,
Yeah.
sailor. Fred is king. Back then there was no green screen. They had to do it freehand. Yeah, it was great though with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because how Toby did everything. And I definitely agree. I find TCM would be more terrifying than Art the Clown when it comes to things. Because when you watch it, like when you watch that movie.
Yeah, and just the way that movie was filmed, it just had this vibe to it.
Yeah. It did. It really did. Toby knew what he wanted when he was creating this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll tell
easily.
you, I'll tell you the movies that I don't like at all, and that's anything Rob Zombie does.
I hear that a lot. You know what? I must be the oddball, because I do enjoy Rob Zombie films. I mean, there's a few of them that I thought were lazy on his part, but I do find that quite a bit. A lot of people don't like Rob Zombie films.
I just everything is so white trash and like it's like I swear a lot. I
Yeah.
do, but it's like he in his movies they do it where it's like a 13-year-old wrote the script. That's how I feel. It's like, and it's just I don't know. Especially his Halloweens are just like
Yeah, I
I
know a
don't know.
lot of people don't like his Halloweens because of what he does to Michael and his Michael's family dynamic. I understand. I definitely understand that. I get that. My buddy serial killer, which serial killer, he definitely doesn't like Rob Zombie films, and he thinks like Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses is a ripoff of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, I thought Devil's Reject was a ripoff of Near Dark.
I love Near Dark. That is an awesome vampire film.
Devil's Reject is exactly that movie, just not vampires. If you actually think about it.
Yeah, it has I think it has a lot of influences through I think Rob Zombie pulls influences from the movies that he loves, because he is a horror
Yeah,
fan, and I don't
yeah,
see anything wrong with that, because a lot of artists pull from their favorites. I mean, Carpenter, Craven, Romero. I mean, yeah, okay, they made the way, but they also pull influences from the people that they grew up watching, what got them into creating horror
right.
and creating films. I think it's just a little bit more seen in zombies films. I think it's a little more seen where I can see Serial's point and your point with it being taking after or a replica of those films, for
I
sure.
didn't really have much of a problem with that because when I watched House of a Thousand Corpses, I was like, I can see Funhouse and Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Oh,
all Toby Hooper
100%.
movies, and that. But it wasn't that. I was just like the way they talked in the movie was just that's what bothers me the most. It's just like the whole
Hick, hillbilly,
yeah, and it's
backwards,
like and I was like, okay, when I saw House of a Thousand Corpses, it's like, okay, cool. But then it's like the next movie and the next movie, and it's like
Devil's
that. I was like,
Rejects.
okay, enough with that.
He tends to like that backwards hillbilly wrong turn kind of vibe, and I've noticed that he does like that backwards hillbilly, and it's a huge trope. I promise Hicks
Yeah,
talk like that. Yeah, no, I know Hicks talk like that. Uh, look at Tarantino and his whole series of films inspired by Grindhouse films. Oh, exactly. And I love Death Proof is one of my favorite all-time movies ever. I think it's a great movie. They all pull. They all definitely all pull. Wickedy says, "How about Blair Witch? There's absolutely no gore in Blair Witch, but it still like has you on the edge of your seat, scared because they're being hunted." Blair Witch is a movie that I personally did not care for. However, I respect it because it broke numerous boundaries for the found footage genre. I honestly think that Blair Witch brought the found footage genre back. I wasn't a fan of it, but I do believe that I have respect for that film.
I actually like the Blair Witch that came out. It was the last one that came out.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that one. It was The way that they made the witch at the end of the movie,
Yeah.
it was creepy. I thought it was good.
We woods people are fucking weird. Sailor. Saw the thing in theaters as a kid. That movie scared the shit out of me. Yeah. And just believe it. Believe this. When the thing hit theaters, it bombed. It bombed badly, which blows my mind because when you watch that movie, the cinematic view of it, the soundtrack, the visuals, the story was solid. I don't understand how it bombed. I mean, I don't remember what movies came out at the same time because that always plays a huge role in the success of any film is what's come out 2 weeks before, what's come out the same week, and what's come out a week after usually plays a huge role in how well a movie is going to do, plus their marketing, right? I honestly don't remember the marketing for The Thing. I don't think I've ever really seen any marketing for The Thing when in the 80s.
You want to talk about practical effects? I think that movie is just superior when it comes to practical effects.
100%. Blair Witch works because you don't see the creature. The unknown is scary. Oh, hell yeah. The unknown is definitely scary. We're always afraid of the unknown. The unknown happens every day in our life. The unknown of going to the grocery store in your car. Who knows if you're coming back? So, yeah. Witch. Not horror, but Blade Runner. Bombed. Yeah, Blade Runner as well.
It's one of my favorite movies, too.
Blade Runner? Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah. I would say Pumpkinhead would fall under
God, Pumpkinhead pulls the heartstrings, man.
Yeah.
That movie makes me cry. It's one of my favorite movies. I own the steel book of it. That movie makes me cry every friggin' time because it's not just a slasher. It's a revenge film is really what it is. And it's got a story. It's got
Lance Henriksen.
Yeah, I love Lance. But it has what's the word that I'm looking for? Accountability for your actions. There's a word that I'm looking for and I can't think of it at the moment, but basically when you want revenge, it's not always what it's cracked up to be, right? So basically turn the other cheek kind of deal. Pumpkinhead hits that. And I don't know why Pumpkinhead is not as big as it really honestly should be. Because that movie hits different levels.
Yeah.
Right? Like I really like Pumpkinhead. I don't want a remake though.
No. I'm
don't
so
want
tired.
a remake.
I think, and I was telling you this before, and I feel like anytime I say this to people, they're like, what? I saw The Substance, and I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't like everybody that came to me, they're like, you got to see The Substance. It's the best fucking thing ever made. And so I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I can't wait to see this.
Yeah.
And then I watched it, and I was like, it's cool.
I had some issues with The Substance. I enjoyed the movie. Don't get me wrong. I did. I enjoyed the aspect. I enjoyed seeing what happens to women in Hollywood. We know that there is a double standard when it comes to women in general in life. And we know that there's a double standard when it comes to women in Hollywood. The younger actress always gets the job, where a distinguished gentleman from young to old, they seem to get their work. And to show what really goes on in a movie for women, because Demi Moore, you know, when she was starting out in the movie, she starts out, she's young, she's getting all the parts, right? And even in a few other things that she does, she's getting everything. As she gets older, she's noticing things are dwindling, and she's got that pressure on her to stay like she was 20 in her 40s. I liked seeing that aspect. I like seeing...
Yeah, I think it's a good message to it.
Oh yeah, I love the message to it. I did enjoy the acting. I liked some of the things. There was a few things, and I don't want to spoil it because I know other people haven't seen it yet, but there are things that I really could have done without in that movie, and it could have been shorter.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
the soundtrack was amazing though. I really love that. Like the soundtrack.
And Pixie, she lives in Florida. So she says The Substance was amazing to me, mostly because I live in such a superficial area. And I get that because there's a lot of places in the United States, hell, even here, that superficial people live.
Well, I lived in Hollywood and LA. The only reason it bothered me is because it just reminded me of those people.
Yeah.
So
there was a few things I did not like, and I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to ruin the movie, but it was towards the ending. Towards the end. I didn't care for. But for the whole, up until that, the movie I thought was brilliant. I liked the story. I liked seeing the stress, the tension, the distress, the growth, the evolution. But there were, like I said, there were some parts in the movie I did not care for. I just was like, what the fuck does this have to do with it? But
Right.
yeah,
The one
Kristof came
movie
from the
I
superficial capital of the world. Exactly,
yeah,
Deadlock.
the one movie I'm looking forward to the most out of any movie is 28 years later.
Oh,
That's
yes. I don't want to get my hopes too high. You know what I mean? I have been
yeah,
waiting for 28 years later to come forever. Forever.
yeah.
As a huge zombie fan, of all types of zombies, rage zombies, slow zombies, experimental zombies. I love zombie films. And yeah, 28 years later is definitely, I've been waiting a long time for this movie. I just don't want to get my hopes up.
Yeah, because I watched 28 Days Later, and then I watched 28 Weeks
Weeks,
Later,
yeah.
and 28 Days Later is so much fucking better than 20 Weeks Later.
It's
It's
friggin'
just so
phenomenal.
like there was stuff in 28 Weeks Later. I did not say I liked it. There was just stuff that I was just like, it was kind of weird. I don't know. But the first movie is just so fucking good.
Oh yeah,
It's
the first movie blew me away.
it has to be one of my favorite zombie movies. And I realized that movie because I love Walking Dead. I feel like that movie inspired Walking Dead. It had to because there's so much to it that reminds me of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, there's a lot in 28 days later, and that they pulled that other movies have tried to pull off.
Yeah.
Other zombie films have tried to pull off. Which I really like the rage zombies. I love the fact that they utilized, animal rights activists that started the whole fucking pandemic.
Well, I like that the thing is that they're not dead; they're more infected by like a
Yeah,
virus instead
yeah.
of
Experimental zombies, right? It's a rage virus, and it's a
yeah,
virus that they were, these people, these activists were wanting these monkeys and the gorillas to not be experimented on, which I agree with. However, because of that, they released these experimental friggin' primates, right? These
yeah.
primates were being utilized for experiments. I don't agree with experimenting on animals, but like that's how the whole thing starts, is that they didn't do their research. They didn't understand what they were just releasing into the world. And now you just caused the end of society as you knew it.
I think I've so far my two favorite movies that have come out was the new Alien, even though there was stuff I did not
Romulus?
like.
Yeah, I liked Romulus.
There was one particular thing I didn't like about the movie. It was one thing. Besides that, I thought it was great. And the
Yeah.
one thing is, and I hate it in every type of movie, is when they do that pun thing. He said, get away from her, you bitch.
Yeah.
I hate when they do that in movies. And it's like because of the timeline, it didn't even make any sense.
Yeah,
That it's
I can see that. I know they did that to pay homage to
I know,
Sigourney
but
Weaver. Like there's a lot they did. They did a lot of homage to the original Aliens and then the game Alien Isolation.
yeah,
But yeah,
which
when
I
you look at the
liked.
timeline, not the movie release timeline, but the timeline of the story, yeah, it kind of gets a little crazy.
I was just like, they could have just not, and then it would have been great. The other thing I noticed about that movie, it was really bizarre, is the practical effects were so fucking good.
Yeah.
But then when you got to the hive, the alien hive, I don't know. I loved in Aliens that it looked all Giger looking,
Yeah, yes,
and
yes, it did.
this one it looked kind of cheesy. Like you looked at the dead bodies in it, and it just
Yeah. There was something
I don't
more
know.
eerie about the ones in When You've Seen an Alien. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
and then I did enjoy the the Nosferatu movie. I did like
So I
that.
have yet to see Nosferatu. I need to see it. I have it. I need to see it. I need to actually just sit down and watch it. I don't know why I haven't. I wanted to see it in theaters, but I don't like to go to my movie theater. I only have one and they don't take care of it.
Mhm.
I've wanted to see it, but I don't know. I don't know what stopped me from actually sitting down and watching Nosferatu.
So what I liked about it, because when it comes to vampire movies, I don't really like the whole romantic
I'm
bullshit.
not a romantic vampire. I'm a 30 Days of Night kind of bitch.
Yeah, I like, but like, if we're gonna talk about vampire movies, the holy grail of vampire movies, in my opinion, is Lost Boys.
I love
That's
Lost
just
Boys.
my. It's just so good.
Lost
It's
Boys
so
is a
fucking good.
really good movie.
And it's funny. My another movie I really like. Have you seen Daybreakers?
I love Daybreakers. I love that
Oh,
take. I like when they change the whole lore of vampires and werewolves and they mix it up. They throw everything. I like that. I do. I enjoy Ethan Hawke, Daybreakers.
yeah. I see. I like when it's scary instead of like. To me, when I see like fucking like I like Bram Stoker's Dracula. There's things I
Oh yeah, I like
don't.
gothic
There's things
horror. It's a gothic vampire movie is really what it is.
but at the same time, I'm not. It's not my favorite because it's like
No, it's not my favorite. I'm not afraid to say that. It's not my favorite. None of them are, but I love 30 Days of Night. When
it's
30
a
Days
great
of
movie.
Night vampires, when I seen them for the first time, I'm like, that's a fucking vampire. That is a predator. A predator is not going to want to have sex with you and seduce you and just, use you as a
Yeah,
play toy. No, they want to rip your throat out, eat you, and throw you away.
yeah. I want
Uh,
to be scared, not like I don't
and that's
know.
a scary vampire. The way they look, they didn't have to transform either. They were a vampire. They looked like a vampire. Their fangs were not just like two cute little fangs that stuck out and bit you. And I think those are cute fangs.
All right,
Abigail gave that same feel to me with her teeth. Because Abigail, I don't know if you've seen Abigail yet.
I want to see that. Is it? It's not romantic and all this bullshit.
No, it's not. It's about a little girl vampire. She is like an assassin for her father, who is this big giant vampire. But it's
Nice.
not what you think it is. Abigail is definitely worth your time. It's not a romantic one. The original Alien is the only film that ever scared me so much I actually puked from anxiety. The original Alien, when I seen it, it's definitely scary as fuck. 100%.
We performed a
Near
festival
dark.
in Switzerland, and we got the opportunity to go to the H.R. Giger Museum.
Ooh,
They actually have the original Alien from Alien, the movie, and I was just like, oh my god, that's
nice.
yeah. Those are my movies. Those are always going to be the.
Yeah.
Those have to be on my top. I have so many fucking aliens Funko Pops.
Nice. I'd love to have a xenomorph in I have a lot of animatronics. These are the two that you guys can see. I would love to add a friggin' xenomorph to but I don't think they make a xenomorph animatronic. But even so, just a life-size xenomorph, I don't even know if I'd have enough space because I know the xenomorph was friggin' huge. By the time it was said and done, it was like 7 foot something. I don't know in my murder basement if I have that kind of like head space. But yeah, Abigail was a great movie. Abigail was definitely a great movie. Ghost of Mars is one of my favorites. I love Ghost of Mars.
The one with the ice cube.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that movie. I love everything about that movie. I think it's a great film.
I'm gonna
We
have
have
to
a life
watch
size
that one.
xenomorph. Nice, Pixie. Have you seen Ghost of Mars?
I've seen it. I've seen every
Yeah.
John Carpenter movie.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
I love John Carpenter films.
One of my favorite horror characters, and I posted this many times. It's actually part of how my outfit I wear on stage is inspired from. And he will kill all of these. It's always going to be Pyramid Head.
Oh, Pyramid Head? Yeah, Pyramid Head is he's a creepy guy. I would love a hell priest. I would love to have a hell priest in my room. The sound of music still scares me. The sound of music, yeah. I can
Any
see that.
musical scares me.
What was that?
Any musical scares me.
Yeah.
It doesn't scare me. It makes me want to blow my brains out.
Have you seen Repo, the genetic opera?
Ugh, I hated it. I turned it off in like I don't like musicals.
Yeah, I definitely get that. I'm not a musical person. I do enjoy a few. I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. That'll always have a place in my heart. Tim Curry as Frankenfurter. I just, yeah. I love the fact of it's a Frankenstein monster musical. Well, it's a good movie. Have you seen? I know it's not really a horror; it's a gateway horror for young people. But have you seen Lisa Frankenstein at all?
No.
And it's one of my favorite movies. It is a coming of age movie, so
I
it's
see a
really
kitty.
good for young adults.
Nice.
But it's cute because it's basically based off of is a lot of homage to Mary Shelley. And you see the Bride of Frankenstein in there. You see Frankenstein's monster. It's heavily based on the creature, which we all know as Frankenstein's monster, but Mary Shelley wrote him as the creature. And it's a good movie. I've seen it 8 times. Musicals are one of my favorite things in the world. Yeah, Pixie loves musicals.
You know, a movie I really loved, and I didn't love it at first, but I really love it, and I actually sampled it on the new album
Nice.
because I liked the most recent Hellraiser.
Oh yeah, the yeah, I like the new Hellraiser with Jamie Lee Clayton playing as the Hell Priest. Yeah, that was I enjoyed that movie a lot. I loved the
I
outfits too.
I thought it was amazing, and actually, if you read
Yep.
Hellbound Heart, Pinhead was a female, so that's why I thought it was pretty
Well,
cool.
yeah, because they associate with a more feminine voice. Technically, he has no actual gender. Hellpriest. The only reason why everyone says it's a boy or a girl is because Doug Bradley played the role and gave it his deep man voice. But in the book, in the novelization of Hellbound Heart, it's a more lighter voice, more feminine voice, but really doesn't have any technical gender to it. He's an interdimensional demon. But of
Right.
course, people don't read the books. They see the movie, and then that's what a lot of controversy was because you had a trans woman playing Hell Priest, Jamie Lee. She played Hell Priest in the
And
2022 Hellraiser,
she's
and
amazing.
I think she did an amazing job. I loved everything about Jamie Lee Clayton's portrayal of Hell Priest. Where people just get stuck on the fact that Doug Bradley is end all be all with Hell Priest, but it's not that. I mean, Doug Bradley, yeah, he's the first Hell Priest I've met, right? But when I saw Jamie Lee Clayton play her role, I was blown away. Obviously, the voices aren't going to match, no matter how much you do utilize it. They did add instrument like not music, but they did mess with his voice electronically, Doug Bradley's voice in Hellraiser, which they did with Jamie Lee in this Hellraiser. Yeah, Frank is specifically describes the Cenobites as sexless. Well, most demons are, right? They're not. There's really no actual male or female. I don't care who plays as long as they fit the role well. Yeah. Oh yeah, she was
No,
phenomenal.
I had a like it was the same thing with Candyman. Like the first 2 Candymans, they fall under like my tops as well.
Oh yeah, I love
And I
Candyman.
and I for so long I was excited to see the last Candyman that came out, and when I saw it, I hated it. I hated it, and
It was more like
the
a
whole like
possession of Candyman, but I enjoyed it for what it was because it really wasn't. It was the continuation of Candyman as like almost like a possession.
they were saying that there was multiple Candymans and all this stuff, and I was just like, huh, what?
Yeah,
I thought that was weird,
I had
and
my gripes with the new Candyman. I liked it, but I did have my gripes, especially with the off screen kills. That was my biggest gripe. But I found that
that's
the new Candyman was more of a possession kind of deal than
maybe I have to watch it again.
the Candyman himself.
I'll have to watch it again and
Yeah,
see.
well, watch it again and see what you think of it afterwards. Because it's like Candyman, kind of the soul of Candyman, which may he rest in peace, Tony Todd. Seems like it was influencing the guy who became Candyman, right? So more of a possession, Candyman going and possessing that body. I think it's more like a possession film than anything, but I'm sure people would fight me on that.
For you being a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, I haven't watched it, but I was like, maybe I'm going to give it a chance. The Netflix one, did you
I loved
enjoy it?
I'll tell you why I loved it. The gore was still the gore is not crazy, but it's good. It's gore that's meant to be gore. Like I don't want to ruin it for you, so I'm not going to say what it is. I had some issues with it. Other than that, I thought Mark Burnham, who plays Leatherface, did a phenomenal job portraying someone with a handicap, mentally handicapped. And I think he brought emotion that we're not used to seeing when it comes to people like Bubba. Like in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you do get to see Gunnar Hansen bring out some of the emotion of Bubba and how he is mentally. But I think Mark really put that emotion in his body language when he played Leatherface. I thought it was pretty good. I definitely check it out.
The only reason I didn't finish it, and I had this problem with Halloween too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when they remove their masks.
Yeah.
And that's what I was like, oh. And that actually, I forgot, because there is one horror movie that I think I watched it. I think it was recently, and I thought it was the worst thing I've ever fucking seen. Not the worst, but it's pretty up there. But Halloween Ends is the worst.
The new Halloweens, I'm not a fan of at all, and I will admit
I'm
that.
not.
I will die on that hill. I don't consider them part of the Halloween chapters.
Did you see that one?
I've seen it. It's a hot pile of shit.
Oh. I was like, the whole time I was like, what the fuck is going on in this movie?
Yeah, I don't like any of the Halloween. I don't like any of the new Halloweens. I don't even consider them in the Halloween universe. They're in the Halloween chapters, like the original chapters of Halloween. I do not consider them a part of that. I consider them more like a Marvel DC universe. You know how Marvel has their different fucking universes all over the place? This is a totally separate universe where they think they can kill Michael Myers right there. I think I dismissed that ad because I know we're coming up on time. I don't want to overkeep Kristof.
Oh, sorry. No, it's okay. I mean,
I like when Jason removes. Hold on. Removes his mask because his face in every iteration is a work of art. I like that. What was that?
I agree with.
Yeah, that's Pixie. Yeah.
He's one I agree with, but Leatherface in Michael Myers is different. I don't know what it is that I don't want to know their fucking backstories.
Yeah. With their Halloweens, I had a big issue because they changed everything. So Halloween 2018 was supposed to be a direct sequel to the first one. Well, the first one, we know that Michael is Laurie Strode's brother, but now they changed that in the 2018 and Michael is not Laurie Strode's brother. So what the fuck are you doing? Then you have Halloween Kills that comes along. And then you have what was it? Halloween Ends, right? Halloween Ends was the last one, or was it? I don't remember which one's the last one. But anyway,
it was that one.
The last one is more of Christine, the movie Christine by Stephen King, reskinned as a Michael Myers. If you think about it, another somewhat possession film. Thank you for the follow, Fun for a Funeral. Yeah. But I like the Little Johns in that movie. Watch out, Multiverse ruined Marvel, and now Halloween, right? But don't forget, guys. Don't forget June 8th. A new album is dropping for Dawn of Ashes, and this Friday you're going to be able to get to hear and see the new single. What is the name of the new single? Let's tell everybody again.
Hypertensive Crisis, which it's an actual medical term.
Yep. I don't mind that concept for Halloween Ends as a Christine-like story, but that should have been established sooner instead of dropping it. I would agree, Gothic. I would definitely agree. How you doing, Fun for a Funeral? If you're just joining us, we are hanging out with Kristof Bathory from Dawn of Ashes. We were just discussing the newest single, the newest album, the evolution, and video games and horror movies.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the new Halloween. Like I said, I don't consider them into the chapters. But yeah, it is getting to be that time, Kristof. It's probably it's 9 o'clock for you, isn't it?
I don't even know what time it is right now.
For me, it's 14 after 1.
Okay.
I know I had us booked for an hour. The new Halloween movies go right up there with Jason. Oh God, Jason Goes to Hell sucks. I don't like Jason Goes to Hell. We don't talk Jason Goes to Hell.
What about Jason versus Freddy?
I like Jason vs. Freddy, but Jason Goes to Hell turned Jason into a fucking worm. Have you seen Jason Goes to Hell?
I own all of them.
Yeah, I own numerous copies.
One I haven't seen is Jason X. I haven't seen it.
Jason X is one of my favorites. I love that he goes into outer space because it opens up the possibility of a sequel to go back to very similar. Oh yeah, you need to go watch it, and then I need to have you on here again, and we need to chat.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to get banned for bringing it up.
I did not like the remake at all. I thought it was
2009
crap.
Friday the 13th. Yeah, no, I mean, it's not bad. It's not horrible. It's not the worst chapter in the bunch. I think Jason Goes to Hell takes the worst chapter, and I think Jason Takes Manhattan is the second worst in the chapters.
I like that one, actually.
Oh, you do like that one? I don't mind it. I don't like the fact that they turned Jason into a normal boy. I can get over the fact that they dragged him from Crystal Lake into New York. I can get over that. That's not a big deal for me. I can get over, a few of the different things. What I can't get over is they turned turned Jason into a normal little boy in that movie, took away his handicap, which I didn't like. And I also didn't like how animated they made him. He's a juggernaut of death. This man kills everybody. However, he doesn't kill the majority of people he runs into in Manhattan. Like, he literally takes the stereo, and I thought that was a funny part. It's hilarious, and kicks it. He would have killed those punks. Like, he would have annihilated them, not just kick their fucking radio and keep walking. I love the way they visually showed Jason's trauma and PTSD in 2009. Yeah, they do show his trauma and PTSD. 100% they do. What did you like about Jason Goes to Manhattan?
I don't know. I pretty much like all of them.
I love the franchise.
There was like some ridiculous, that's okay. That's the thing I like about the difference between the remake versus the old one is the old ones they have that 80s vibe. They have that like goofiness to them, and I feel like Jason,
the campiness,
Takes Manhattan. Yeah, it's the scene where he's boxing the guy on the fucking roof. It's ridiculous.
That's funny. I thought that was funny. Yeah.
Like, it's like same with Nightmare on Elm Street. They're fun.
Oh yeah, they are fun films. They're fun but slashers are meant to be like that, right? They're meant to be like that.
I think that's what we miss with the new stuff, is that it's not mean-spirited and I don't know, like purely sadistic. It's there's some sort of fun to it. Like, Freddy Krueger's fun. He's funny.
He is fun.
Yeah.
He definitely is fun. Even his commentary is fun, right? There is not another funny slasher like him until Ghostface, when you think about it.
Yeah.
There was Freddy. Nobody was like him. I mean, you had Chucky, but Chucky was a doll, right? Another possession film. It was a doll, which had funny one-liners as well, but not as many as Freddy. And then we have Ghostface that comes along, and Ghostface still has that comedy, not a full-on comedy aspect as Freddy had, but it had, well, it's obviously done by Wes Craven, so they all have their inspirations from each other.
Right.
But like, there is no other slasher like Freddy Krueger when it comes down to his comedic value.
Yeah, like the second movie where he's dancing in his room, that ridiculous scene. You know what I'm talking about? The kid.
When he
Part 2.
In what in part 2 of Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah, the main character when he
Yep,
gets
and he's
caught
dancing in his
dancing.
room.
That's
I
ridiculous.
love those kind of things because Kristof did it in Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Crispin Glover.
That little creep dance that he
Yeah,
does. Yeah,
that
yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's my favorite one. That's my favorite one out of all of them.
yeah. It's so funny. Puppet Master needs more love. Yeah, definitely. Puppet Master is great. Puppet Master is an awesome film, and a lot of films took off after Puppet Master, right? Like it broke boundaries for that type of genre. I mean, you have Dolls, you have a whole bunch of other movies made after. Welcome back from that ad, guys. All right. Well, for me, it's going to be lunchtime. I am starving. So
All
I
right.
am going to let you go, but I would love to have you back on and game, chat, and more. So you let me know what your schedule is like because
Okay.
my streaming schedule has changed to morning time. So I start at 11 a.m. my time, which is probably a lot earlier for you than 8 o'clock. A little bit earlier for you.
We'll find a game.
Yeah. If you play Demonologist, you could do some Demonologist. So everyone says thank you for joining us, Kristof.
Of course.
Definitely keep an eye out for the album, guys. June 8th and this Friday. You can catch it on everything. YouTube to catch the video. You can do SoundCloud, Instagram, Twitter. Be also keep an eye out for the Dawn of Ashes official website, which will be coming.
Right.
Anything else you want to say before we end?
No, just thank you for having me on, and
It's always a pleasure.
Hope everybody enjoys new album and the single.
Yeah, I am definitely going to be making sure I listen to it on Friday.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Maybe I can even play it in the stream without getting in trouble on Friday.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. What time does it drop Friday? Do you know?
I have no idea.
All
What
right,
time
I'll
is
keep
your
my
stream?
eyes out. I'll keep my eyes out. If I don't see it right away, I'll just keep refreshing.
You know what? I think I gave it to you, and since it comes out that day, doesn't matter if you can just play it on there.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds great. Well, thank you very much for joining. Thank you, everybody watching at home. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for popping in and hanging out with us, discussing horror and listening to Kristof Bathory. Make sure you guys go follow Instagram. Make sure you keep your eyes out on the YouTube, and Spotify is where you can also find, I know a lot of you have Spotify, Dawn of Ashes. Until Monday, guys, I will slash you all later. Bye.
All right. See you later. Bye.